Okay, here we go. Trying it again. So the first thing that you're going to do is there should be something in Schoology called, it says Unit 4 here, but it's Unit 6, Lesson 2 Notes. So you're going to go for Unit 6, Lesson 2 Notes. And this is what should come up, except for that you have actual lines on the graphs right here that I don't have. Okay, so this first one, things that are called input values or independent variables, right here in this line, what those are is those are all together called the domain, and it is the set of x coordinates. So when you have like 3 comma 4, the 3 is the x coordinate, so it would be one of these. So in a whole relation you'll have a whole bunch of points, and all of the first numbers in each point are the x values or are the domain altogether. They're the set of x coordinates. The other ones, so if you had 3 comma 4, the 4 would be your y values, all of those y coordinates. So this would be a set of y coordinates. They're called the output values or the independent value, or sorry, dependent values or dependent variables. Those are all the y's, and that is called the range. We had that yesterday. You should know those two. Okay. How slanted a line is, that would be slope. And the way that we're going to find it is rise over run. And we're going to do a little bit of that today so you understand rise over run. The two things to tell how if a line is representing a proportional relationship, and we can talk about what that means later, but right now I just need you to know that if you look at a line and they ask you if it's proportional or not, you can know by two things. It has to have a straight line. It can't be bent. It can't be curved. And it has to go through the origin. Both of these have to be true for it to be a proportional relationship or representing a proportional relationship. Straight line that goes through the origin. Okay, there are 4 types of slope. Doesn't matter where they are in the coordinate plane. If it goes this way, it's going up, it's positive. If you have a bank account and you started here and you put money in it and it's going up, 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 that's a positive thing. If it starts here and goes down, well, if this was your bank account and it started here and it went down, that's a negative thing. So these are this is a positive slope. This is called a negative slope. If it stays the same, I always think if I went sledding on a hill that wasn't a hill but was perfectly flat, I would go 0 miles an hour. So this would be a 0 slope. This is positive. This is negative. This is 0. And the last one would be a vertical line. And if I went sledding on this hill, I'd start here and I wouldn't slide down the hill because I'd fall off the hill and I'd just go and I'd end up down here somewhere, crash and burn, and I would have no life. If you have no life, you have no slope. And if you have no slope, it is undefined. Undefined. Okay? Positive, going up, negative, going down, 0, straight across or horizontal, and undefined is straight up and down vertical. All right. Go backwards for just 1 second to our, if it's showing a proportional relationship or not. This one does. It's a straight line, basically. It's a straight line. It goes through the origin. If you had that same line, but it was down here, that's not going to be proportional because though it's straight, it doesn't go through the origin. So this one's not proportional. This one is. Also, if you had a curve that went like that, okay, it goes through the origin, but it's not straight. So that's not showing a proportional relationship. Okay, those are some things that we'll get into a little bit more later on. All right, so in the last video I accidentally showed you lesson 3 I meant to show you lesson 2. So this is what you should end up with. Let me put this paper down. Okay, so this is the one that you should end up with. Lesson 2. First thing it asks you to do is, given this relation, write the domain. You should know what that is by now. Given this relation, write the range. That's number 2. Okay, then given this graph, put in the coordinates. So what are you supposed to do? Well, you need to find lines on, or find points on this line. So if you go to that point right there, that would be -1, 2, 3, -1. So right there is -3, -1. So you'd put -3 here and -1 here. Now find another point on that line. Well, right there's another point on the line. So that would be over 1 up none. So it would be 1, 0. So you would put 1, 0. Then you can find more. You can do it by looking at this line. You can find them. But there's another way to do it, that we use slope. And then you can find all kinds of lines on here. So to find slope, you're either going to blank or you're going to blank. Huh. All right, the first blank. The first blank is you are going to use rise over run. Rise over run. So to find slope, right in this blank, you're going to put rise over run in the first blank. How do I do that? All right, so let's say I have a line that looks like this. The end of it didn't look very straight, but that's because I'm freehanding it. All right, let's say I have a line like this. And you can see all the points on this line. Okay? I can figure out the slope by doing rise over run. All you have to do is count. So if I start at this point right here, let's call this point A, and we'll call this point B. Okay? If I start at point A, and I see how many I have to rise to get even with point B, I have to rise 1, 2. So I put down a 2. That's my rise. I'm going to put that over my run. My run is from here to here, 1. So I rise 2, I run 1. So I get 2 over 1. Well, you can simplify that. 2 over 1 is just 2. So you have a slope of 2. Now you can do that anywhere, because look, if I went from this point to this point, I rise 2, run 1. Again, rise 2, run 1. Again, rise 2, run 1. Rise 2, run 1. And all along this line, so it doesn't matter where you look on the line, the slope is always, for this particular line, going to be 2, because I always rise 2, run 1. That's the one way to do it. The other way to do it is to do it with algebra, and we're going to just not worry about that right now. We're going to talk about that more tomorrow. So this line right here, don't worry about. All you need to do is figure out how to find slope by rising and running. That's it. So what is the slope for this line? Well, start at one point, rise up and run over to another point and simplify it, and that's going to be your slope. Another name for slope is called the constant of proportionality. Well, if you've done number 4, you better be able to figure out number 5. Okay, 6, 7, 8, and 9. All you're going to do is find 2 points, count the rise, count the run, rise over run, and then simplify it. That's the slope. Then you're going to tell what type of slope is it. Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it 0? Or is it undefined? Okay, those are your choices. Then you can look at these and tell which ones are proportional. Not sure? Go back to our notes. Right here we said you have to have a straight line and it has to go through the origin. So those are the things you're going to be looking for on these to decide which ones. How do you know? I just told you. Write it down. Okay. By the way, when you are doing this, you are opening up your own Google Doc and you're going to write the answer. So on your Google Doc, you'll put 1 and then you'll write in what the domain is. Then you'll put 2 and you'll write in what the range is. Then you'll put 3 and you can put sets of points. Okay, it shouldn't be that difficult. once you understand what the heck you're doing, once I understand what the heck I'm doing, you're going to continue on with 10, 11, 12, 13. Find the slope and what type of slope it is. Okay? Then you have two problems right here. All you have to do is write the answers on your, you have to figure them out on your own. Write the answers on your Google Doc and send that to me. Hopefully that clears some of this up. Still watch that video that I put. I'm going to put it in this new assignment page too. Still watch that video that I gave you. If you didn't see the last video that I made because I told you not to watch it because I screwed it up, I was the answer to yesterday's or to the last fun fact. I'm the one that went on tour throughout Eastern United States, and I can tell you more about that when I see you. And then two, the new one is which of your 6 junior high teachers were in band, and if you can figure it out, what instruments did they play. Okay, I think that's everything. Email me questions and let me know if we want to do a one-on-one video conference. We can try to do that. I haven't done any of those yet, but you know what? We're all learning here. So hopefully this helps. I miss you guys. Happy day.